Hey everyone, it's Rena Jada from HealthBootcamps and the Live Longer podcast, here with Dr. Joel Kahn, one of my absolute favorite docs of all time, talking about the plant-based solution. This is a book masterclass for his book, The Plant-Based Solution. Woo, it's so pretty, I could gobble it up. I love all those berries.
Yeah. Science Today published that women that eat blueberries and strawberries, I don't think I have any strawberries on the cover, drop their risk of heart attack by 40%. Don't even have to eat a lot, just got to eat them every day.
I just had my strawberry smoothie right before we started, so I guess I'm on my way to better health already, better heart health anyway. So we're going to talk about why did you write this book first, and then we're going to talk about chapter 1. So Dr. Joel, what prompted you to write this book?
So for reasons that are hard to understand, there is no debate about exercise, smoking, sleep, stress management. Find something that works for you. Oh my God, is the nutrition world one giant wrestling match?
Yes.
Do you eat only animals? Do you eat organic, grass-fed animals? Do you eat only plants? Do you put oil in? Is butter better than margarine? We can go on and on 1,000 examples. And not only is it worthy of discussion, because diet clearly influences risk for adult diabetes, heart disease, dementia, cancer, psoriasis. I just got off the phone with a patient that his psoriasis went away when I added ground flaxseed to replace his low omega-3 level. I mean, it's amazing how nutrition can impact a variety of diseases. But the disagreement about what is that optimal eating plan to be healthy and live a long life is vicious. As I just indicated you, I just got off social media. So I wrote a book to put together in a very simple way the science that's available. Maybe there's holes in the science, but what we have on supporting that a diet rich, if not exclusive, as I eat, on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes of every variety under the sun is your best chance to avoid and manage the big chronic diseases, we call them, and I mentioned most of them. Connective tissue, rheumatoid arthritis, brain diseases, blood sugar diseases, cholesterol, blood pressure, obesity, and such. But I wanted to make it that people didn't need to dedicate a month to read it. And then it's jam-packed with recipes to implement a 3-week eating dive into this world.
So let's talk about this first chapter, which is all about the pillars, the 6 pillars of support for the plant-based solution, for the plant-based diet. What are these 6 pillars?
Yeah, so, as people listen to, today's headline, strawberry and blueberries. Tomorrow headline going to be put butter, on your coffee and you'll live to 100. Because truly, you can influence. The dairy industry is very powerful, the meat industry. There's headlines everywhere. Yesterday was Kelly Clarkson won't eat beans anymore. And the day before, it was Kim Kardashian looks so great because she won't eat a carbohydrate calorie. And it's crazy. So it turns out when you step back and say, maybe we shouldn't be taking nutrition advice just from Kelly Clarkson and Kim Kardashian. So that actually there are very strong statements from one, love it or not, our U.S. government and the USDA, Dietary and Agricultural Department, that endorsed 3 eating programs in 2015, Mediterranean, something they called Healthy American, but the 3rd pillar of foundation was the vegetarian vegan diet. So just enough to say, our government analyzed over the course of a year with experts, vegetarian vegan was one of the 3 pillars. There isn't a 4th pillar called paleo. There isn't a 5th pillar called ketogenic. There's not a 6th pillar called the grapefruit diet. There's 3 pillars. Second is the 100,000 dietitians in the United States have a master organization called the Association and Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Not always viewed as the most plant-friendly group necessarily, but they came out with a statement in 2015 also, from pregnancy through infancy through old age, a properly constructed vegetarian and vegan diet can support all phases of life. Now, I said properly constructed, so that's not Pringles and Mountain Dew, which is by definition vegetarian. And little infants, we need to be sure we're not giving them thin little rice gruel. We want them to have real food. Breast milk is always the best, of course. Third is Medicare and Medicaid. So, our government doesn't rush to pay for treatments that don't have a lot of scientific support. And if you have heart disease and your arteries are blocked and you want to reverse your artery blockage, there is a Medicare program, in fact, 2 of them, to teach and help patients to reverse their heart blockage. One is called the Pritikin program, Medicare pays for it. One is called the Ornish program, Medicare pays for it, if you meet the proper criteria. They're both plant-based programs. They're not meat-based programs. They're not egg-based programs. They're not cheese-based programs. They're not grass-fed beef-based programs. They're beans, peas, lentils, whole grains, fruits, and vegetable-based programs. And our government looked at the data back in 2010, said, whoa, there's thousands of data points. And they bought in because it was proven if you're a heart patient and you do this, you actually save money, bing, bing, bing. That's the insurance companies. You know, you're not going to need a $50,000 bypass as often or a $30,000 stent as often. Fourth is, it's not a big deal, but when the U.S. News and World Report comes out every year with the best diets for people to follow, and they get a panel of experts, you know, the last 2 diets on the list are the Paleolithic and the ketogenic diet. And usually for heart disease, the Dr. Dean Ornish plant-based approach lifestyle is number 1. So we've got that panel. Fifth is that hospitals. Kaiser Permanente, which is the largest managed healthcare program in the United States. 10 to 12 million people are covered by Kaiser Health Insurance. They've got a very aggressive program to educate the primary care doc and patients that plant-based nutrition can prevent and reverse a lot. So that's an important statement, largest in the United States. And the last one is actually in the last year repeatedly, Oxford University, particularly a nutrition group they have, has come out saying we could save 8 million lives a year from premature death by shifting to plant-based nutrition. And we would dramatically reduce the damage to the environment, the Amazon, the ozone layer, pollution of the oceans by switching to a plant diet. So that's the last foundation. They just came out about 4 weeks ago with a definitive statement from a very technical agricultural standpoint that if we shifted away from raising soybean and corn to feed cows, chickens, and pigs, and actually ate the soybean and corn, hopefully an organic source, not genetically modified, we would do a tremendous amount for the environment. So 6 pillars that no other dietary pattern has at all. Not even the Mediterranean diet. Even we learned yesterday that the premier study that promotes the Mediterranean diet, less red meat, fish, fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grain breads, olive oil, wine, no candy, no processed junk. The premier study called the Predimed study was actually retracted from New England Journal of Medicine because of some serious flaws in the science. So there's a whole controversy going on right now, although the Mediterranean diet is so much better than the drive-through bucket of fried chicken, yellow bag of sausage egg McMuffin diet. One of the key foundational studies that people keep quoting has just gotten a kick in the butt in the last day. Other things we don't know, like if every human in the world ate oatmeal for breakfast, a giant salad for lunch, and a bean soup for dinner, we know it would help the environment and the animals. Would everybody have an improvement in their health? I think so, but we don't know that because we can't really, I mean, is there somebody out there that wouldn't benefit from that kind of simple dietary plan? Hard to know. There are people that say so on the web, but I'm not sure what they were actually eating.